I'd like to introduce Mario Loredo, who is a Navy veteran. What'd you do when you were in the Navy, Mario?
I was a damage control firefighter, DZ3, damage control petty officer 3rd class. I maintained the integrity of the ship, any fires, flooding, catastrophes that would take place on the ship. And it's I served on one of the greatest battleships ever made, the USS Missouri.
Very good, very good. How long were you in the Navy?
4 years, ma'am.
Okay. And what happened to you when you got out?
Well, when I got out, I guess you could say I allowed my pride. You know, I was a very prideful individual in the service. I never wanted to get out, but after the first Gulf War, Desert Shield and Desert Storm, my marriage, you know, was already on the rocks, and you know, she told me to get out. You know, she didn't want me re-enlisting, so I got out, and you know, I felt like I didn't have any sense of belonging, you know, anymore.
Is that because you weren't really prepared for the civilian world? So in the military, it's very structured, and everybody tells you what to do, and then all of a sudden you go out and it's like nobody's telling you what to do.
Yes, ma'am, and it is. There is a big sense of belonging in the service. You know, they pump, you know, that you're the elite, you're the number one, and you know, we carry that even into our homes. And when I got out, you know, I was looking for another organization like that, and I joined the fire department. I injured my leg. I was working forestry fire, and I injured my leg on a hike, and that ended my career as a forestry firefighter. I began to, you know, experiment with drugs, you know, to substitute that pain. I didn't really like taking the pills. You know, little did I know that later on in life, you know, that I would become a heroin addict.
So you started out with the soft drugs like marijuana and stuff like that?
Marijuana, it was probably a gateway drug, you know, and soon after that, you know, the alcohol. And but I found my relief in heroin, you know, methamphetamines and stuff like that. And by '99, I was already doing my first term in prison. I did a total of 13 years. In and out, is what I gave to the state of, you know, California, the corrections department. And I believe that it was this last time, you know, 3 years ago, that I realized, you know, what I was doing, you know, what I thought was recreational, was actually something that had taken control of my life. It was no longer for fun; it was more for maintenance. You know, to maintain myself, and you know, I lost my children. I lost marriage. Actually, I lost 2 marriages, 2 homes. And you know, I began to realize that there is something wrong. You know, I went back, you know, into a gang, you know, into my, you know, my hometown where I grew up at in Bloomington, and you know, that's where I found my belonging again.
When you went back to the gang life, what happened to you to get you to US VETS? That's what I'm after.
What happened was, I ended up in prison, you know, with a jail in 2010 for an assault, attempted murder. I was in prison, and someone invited me to an NAAA meeting there. And they have other meetings as well, Al-Anon meetings there. And to my surprise, there was a veteran meeting going on. And so when I got to the door, you know, I said, well, let's go. You know, he goes, no, it's over here. That's for the vets. This is the NA meeting. And I told him, well, I'm a vet. And he says, well, go check it out. Go check it out. And I went and I presented myself, and they said, yeah, as a matter of fact, the following week, one of the directors here had went over there to talk to us, and him and some other veterans, wondering whether if there was any vets interested in coming into their program. and it really, you know, that's when it opened my eyes that I didn't want to come back out into the same old. You know, I'm a two-striker now. You know, I didn't want to risk my life, you know, in any other place. So I began to talk to him, and he told me, you know, Mario, you're a good candidate. You know, you have no room to be playing around, brother. You know, we want to help you. Come home.
See, I think you just said it. Come home. You really, although you were physically home before when you got out of the Navy, your mind was still in the Navy, and you never got over that.
I never did, man. And it was, you know, those words were very, very powerful. Very powerful words. Because finally, you know, I could have somewhere where I could be a part of a family again. You know, a sense of belonging, a sense of entitlement. You know, where they looked at me not as a gang member, not as a heroin addict, as a comrade.
Right. It's the camaraderie.
Yes, ma'am.
That we always look for.
And I came here, you know, and I was excited. I was very excited to be here. Some of the rules, you know, I bucked and I kicked a little bit, you know, with my counselors, Erica and Paula, you know, but they're for a reason, you know, they're there for a reason. I've humbled myself, and, you know, I stayed here, I believe, 4 months. I utilized every resource that they brought to the table. And they taught me how to humble myself for once, keep my mouth shut, you know, and, you know, how to utilize the services at the U.S. VETS, at EDD, even the drug program they have here, the SAT program that they have here, going to the 12-step meetings. Just learning to be still, you know, and not run from every situation, not run from every problem, but to face it, you know, because being in prison for so long, you know, I got comfortable. That was my lifestyle, and I had a change. And everyone's fearful of change because I was fearful of the unknown. But it wasn't until they began to push me and let me know, you know, Mario, you know, there's so much inside of you, you know. And I took the first step, and I went back to get my job back, and I got my job back. They were happy to see me, as a matter of fact. And then from there, I wanted more. You know, my self-esteem began to climb up once again, and I began to see myself as an individual, you know, again.
And as a contributing member of society.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And so I decided, to do some soul searching and what is it that I want to do. And I made this decision to go back to college to become a drug and alcohol counselor. I am starting my internship in 2 weeks. I graduate in less than a month. You know, as a drug and alcohol counselor, I want to help people that have a drug and alcohol problem. I want to be able to reach out to them. I want to be able to inspire them and let them know, look, if I can do it, you can do it. It doesn't matter where you come from, you know, what it is that you're addicted to, what you've been through, there is hope, and it's found here at the U.S. VETS.
Could have said any better. Thank you so much, Mario.